wants to be king? I was talking to one of my buddies the other day. We were going back and forth about the state of where we're going as a nation, and really as a species, really, with all the crazy talk, canceling men, the divisiveness between the sexes, and now we have the insanity of the alphabet communities trying to make abominations into normality and pretty much turn everything into a rainbow society. It's really not hard to tell. It's not hard to tell what's going on and what, you know, the ultimate end game is. And when you understand how this attack has taken place, the men in our culture have been successfully castrated, beaten down, and put into a place of submission to the point where so many men are giving up, walking away, and rightfully so. I absolutely have no problem with any of the movements of men, you know, going their own way, whatever pill, prescription that they choose to take. I don't have a problem with any of these subsets of men, because I understand, man, I've gone through just about everything that a man can experience in life that would lead one to red pill content. And realistically, the only reason why I use these terms is because that's the space that this is in. But, you know, I understand men's frustrations, I understand men's angst, and I understand all of the hardships that men have to face just trying to get through life on a day-to-day basis without being attacked, canceled, whatever. And now it's getting to the point where you have to almost worry about your physical safety. And in some places, in populated city centers, very soon you will. Now, this message here is about high value men again, but what I want to talk about is a little bit different than the common narrative, because I think a lot of people that talk about high value men are really talking about the guys that chicks want to bang. That's what they're coming from, that sort of angle. But when I talk about high value men, I'm talking about men who have value to society, who would add value to a team. And so when I look at a person's money, what they have or whatever, any of those things, I don't particularly look at that and say, yeah, that's a man of value. I look at what that person does with his resources. That's, to me, that's what brings a man value. Not that he should give it away, but that he should do something with it that benefits those around him and leaves the world a little bit better place. Sorry. And again, I'm not saying be a fool, be a sucker, you know, get taken advantage of, but I think that, you know, a lot of these things are a test, that you get things, and especially when you get an abundance of things, that is not meant to be hoarded. It's meant to be paid forward. And a lot of people that I've seen who have had means, that live their lives just lavishly and selfishly, they came to meet pretty drastic ends. And so, you know, I look at that philosophy and have always lived my life by those principles, and I have tried to live by that. You know, everything that I have, I've been blessed with, and I try not to hoard it and make it, you know, a wealth status symbol or any of that. I don't play that game. To me, that's fucking stupid, because when I die, what I had won't matter. Who I was will. Now, masculinity, traditional masculinity, has been attacked. It's been demonized. It's been put into, unless there's a little 125-pound, you know, chick that's pretending to be a man, then it's okay. But masculinity coming from a man has been demonized, and you know, it's been that demonization has been celebrated throughout Hollywood and all of the, you know, media, television, everywhere we see being a man, being a real man is bad. And now we've got a bunch of plastic characters and paper tigers pretending to be men, and then other losers that appease to a wider audience of men. And one of my biggest one of my biggest incentives for pushing forward with this message with urgency is we're in a bad place. We're in a bad place, and this government printing of money, giving people money to be worthless and stay home. I don't blame the people for being smart and doing the economics there, but our country survives by small businesses being able to be open. And when you can't find workers, then those businesses can't stay open. So this plan, this whole thing that we've been dealing with for the past year and some change has really been an orchestrated attack on everyone. You know, the first wave wiped out people who planned not. The next wave knocked out people who had a little bit. The next wave, and so on. And what they're doing is they're going to whittle away the resources that we all have until we don't have shit. They've said that in their economic forum, that when all the rich people get together and decide what they want to do with us pawns. And so what they're doing is they're really turning our whole country into the ghetto. The same plan that they did back in the 60s with the black community by paying the mothers to run the fathers out. Well, the fathers have already been run out by the court system, divorce, out of wedlock children, all those things. So now we already know that there's no men. Now men are bad, being homo's good, woman strong, man weak, man dumb, woman smart, all this bullshit. But this end that's coming, this crash that's coming, it's going to be extremely painful. It's going to hurt really bad. It's already hurting a lot of people. A lot of people who are living these lavish lifestyles in these condos that cost millions of dollars just to have a small space for this goofy lifestyle image. When those property owners go bankrupt and the whole building gets sold to Chinese bankers, these people are screwed. It doesn't matter what they think they have, they're just going to be screwed. That's the way that it's going to work. When this thing starts to crash, everyone's going to feel it. And eventually, when, you know, we're already seeing prices rise in stores, chicken's up, eggs are up, milk's up, everything. I mean, everything, the things that we've come to take for granted have all shot through the roof. And it's still early in the game, people. It's so early in the game. And when this inflation, when most people finally start to really see this inflation, when they start to understand the economics of what's happening, it's going to be too late. Because a lot of people are really stupid. A lot of people are so dumb and so weak and so apathetic and willing to sit back with their hands out because Uncle Sam's filling it up with helicopter money that they don't give a shit. And they're going out. Not only are they buying stupid shit, the people who think they're smarter are investing it in the stock market. So technically, they're just giving their money right back to the rich people who they talk about they hate for whatever they hate them for. You can't really hate somebody for taking advantage of stupid people. And that's why I can't really I don't really hate any of these creators who are taking advantage of the dummies who listen to their message. But I think that if men really come to these spaces to try to better themselves, to be stronger, it's best to not don't put your money there. Don't go for infotainment. Go where there's real value. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is provide real value. Now, the point of this message is this. Traditional masculinity is dead, okay? But very, very soon, when the wheels start to come off of this thing that we call America, we've already seen prices go up. The prices are going to go up, but also what's going to happen is there's shortages. And when these shortages come to pass, your money won't matter. You're going to have a pocket full of free money, but when you go to the grocery store, you won't be able to buy food. We're already starting to see this stuff trickle down, and now I'm starting to realize what that movement was. So, because for years, every time I would go into Sam's or any of these big stores, I would get this eerie feeling that this is not right and this is not going to last. And now, when I walk into these stores and I see empty shelves, it's not shocking to me, because I saw this years ago. I saw this years ago coming. And that's why I checked out of the city, moved out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, moved out here to the country, and there won't be any chicken shortage. Get back. There won't be any chicken shortage at my house, because instead of investing in Air Jordans and stupid shit, cars, multiple cars, fancy clothes, I invested in food. I invested in security. I invested in the future of my family. I learned how to farm. I learned how to take care of my livestock. I learned how to do a lot of things that is going to come in very handy when the system comes off. And all of this shit, when the wheels come off of the system and everything starts to go to shit, all of the things that men today, right now, in this time of comfort, look at as having value will have no value. When you're hungry, you're going to trade gladly in a moment without a hesitation your $1,000 Gucci belt or your $2,000 goofball shirt for something to eat. When your stomach is touching your spine, when your ribs are showing through your shirt, you will gladly give up that shirt. So my message here is this. While you've got time, men, if you've got time, if you've got the resources, I would suggest that you find a way to learn how and start to cultivate your own food, your own resources. If you don't know how to hunt, learn how to hunt. If you don't know how to clean your food, learn how to clean it. Stop taking for granted the food that you eat. That's life being taken. It's life being taken in factory farms. If you don't have the balls to take that life and clean it properly, process it properly, to eat it, how the fuck do you really deserve to eat it? That's not the way that life's supposed to work. As a man, you should have the balls to go out and hunt your food if you have to. You should have the ability to do that without being a squeamish little girl when you have to pull the entrails out to clean it out. You need to learn these skills because these skills are going to come in way more handy than any PUA advice or any of this goofball divorce court shit. Pretty soon, none of this woman stuff's going to matter. You're going to start worrying about where you're going to live, how you're going to eat, and how you're going to survive. I don't believe that that's end of the world drama talk. I think that it's inevitable. We've stepped on a lot of people for a long time. God's pissed off. We've allowed babies to be exploited, murdered because they were an inconvenience to women. We are confusing children about their sex. I'm not a Bible thumper, but any God cannot be happy. And we're seeing what's happening. This is a spiritual battle that we're in, no doubt. As men, we've got to do something. And what's coming is going to be painful. How bad it hurts is going to really depend on how well you prepare right now. You better learn how to find, grow, take care of food. You better learn how to take care of yourself. You better learn how to fight if you don't know how to fight. You better learn how to get strong if you're not strong. This shit's gonna hurt, people. Where we're going is gonna hurt. It has to hurt. It has to. We've gotten away with too much for too long. Shit's been too easy and we've gotten too weak. There's shit moving and they're keeping us so entertained with things that many people don't see it. I see it very clearly. It's gonna be painful. Get ready for the pain. Out.